High school teacher is fighting a suspension after he told students to think twice about how they answered a school survey about their own risky and illegal behavior. He says he was just acting in the best interest of his students and their families, but he's accused of undermining an effort to help kids who need it. Fox 32's Craig Wall is live in Batavia, where parents are speaking out before the school board about this. Craig.
Yeah, Robin, it was a packed meeting tonight. Right now, the school board is in closed session considering this issue. This all comes after a Facebook petition garnered nearly 6,000 signatures. Probably 100 or so people turned out for the meeting tonight to show their support for teacher John Dryden, who they believe did the right thing. The school board, they believe, in suspending him was out of line.
I'm not here to stir the pot. I'm just trying to protect my kids.
Batavia High School social studies teacher John Dryden found out he has a lot of supporters in Batavia of the school board's decision to suspend him for a day for what he says was simply an effort to teach his students to think critically.
By punishing John Dryden, what you did was took an emotional and knee-jerk reaction to something that didn't go the way that had been intended and chose to punish him for it.
In a school board meeting overflowing with people, members of the community took the board to task. At issue, a 34-question survey given to students on April 18th. It was designed to help identify at-risk students so the district could get them help. In the last year, the school has had several students commit suicide.
Several of the questions asked the students to self-report on what can potentially be criminal behavior. Do you take alcohol? Do you do illegal drugs? Do you lie or cheat? Do you smoke or chew tobacco?
Those questions are what prompted Dryden to tell his students, who just the week before had studied the Bill of Rights, that they have a constitutional right not to answer some of the questions.
Did the district consider that they may not get honest responses? My student reported to me that some of the students sitting next to her when she took it said they weren't going to answer the questions honestly. And part of that was because their names were right on the paper.
A fellow teacher questioned why Dryden was being singled out for punishment.
Every teacher I talked to had advised students in much the same way, and not to answer questions they weren't comfortable with.
The superintendent would not talk specifically about this situation, citing confidentiality, but he defended the questions on the survey and having the students' names on the survey. Jack Barshinger told me earlier that by putting the names on there, it allows students to actually get the help they need. The idea was if you ask students directly, oftentimes they will tell you exactly what is going on in their lives. Right now, we are waiting for the closed session to end, and if those details come down before this newscast is over, we'll bring you that information. Back to you.
Craig Wall in Batavia. Thank you, Craig.